So YouTube, what is going on this fine, what is it, afternoon, whatever. Whenever you watch it, what is going on this morning, afternoon, night, evening, whatever. Cal from Nowhere Drive 229, I'm back. I just want to make a quick video, y'all, about a topic. First of all, I want to premise this by saying that this happened a little while ago, and honestly, I wasn't gonna make a video about it, or I was gonna wait because there was a lot of tensions going on at the time. You'll understand what I mean by that in a minute, but there was a lot of tensions going on. I didn't want to be the one to kind of further that issue, so I kind of left it alone for the time being. But it is something that I did want to share with y'all as the YouTube community, and just car lovers in general, or just people in general, just to kind of help you, you know, pretty much just watch your back. So basically, this is an issue that I had before I moved to Atlanta, actually. And I'll just kind of walk her through the story. I'm gonna try to stay as objective as possible. I don't want to make any speculations about anything. This is just the way things came out. So basically what happened was, I was moving to Atlanta, and I came up here. The first hospital I started working at, I had to come do, you know, drug tests, HR paperwork, all that good stuff. Came up here to do it, and I came with a friend of mine. So we were gonna, like, you know, finish all that stuff, go shopping for an apartment, and, you know, get everything kind of settled, you know, kind of get some stuff settled up here, finding places I was gonna hang out at up here and stuff like that. So we did all that stuff. All that went fine. We ended up meeting up with some friends later on that evening. Went to Marlowe's Tavern, which is, by the way, if you haven't been to Marlowe's Tavern, that is some delicious food. We went there, hung out, didn't have any drinks. I knew I had to drive back that night. We didn't want to get a hotel room because I had to work the next day. So we got ready to go back. So we're headed back, you know, we're getting on down the road, and so we're driving, you know, windows down, listening to music, not blasting it. I mean, I didn't have a system in the car, so we weren't blasting it. Just, we're on Highway 75, and I see the cop sitting over the side of the road. I look down the speedometer, I'm not speeding, so I'm like, okay, cool, let's ride. I'm on cruise control, so let's ride, let's keep going. And then I see the cops pull out. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I see one of the cops pull out, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's going to get somebody, maybe he's going off duty. I don't really think much of it. Then he gets behind me, but his lights are not on. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'm about to get followed by a cop. That's nothing new. Like, you know, once again, no speculations, but that's nothing new. I've been followed by cops before, and then usually they follow me around a few blocks, and then they turn off somewhere. So, yeah, I was thinking, like, you know, finna get followed by another cop. Nothing major there. It is what it is. So then, all of a sudden, he turns his lights on, and then he comes through the PA, and he says, "Pull over right now." And we're like, dang, like, is it that serious? Like, if you were gonna pull us up, you could just turn the lights on. I would have moved over. So he does that, and I start to pull over to the side. I get over, and I'm in the center lane. I move over to the right lane, and then I get ready to get over, but there's a huge, like I guess a truck tire on the side of the road. So I moved back over, and then I got on over when I could. I still ended up hitting a truck tire because he was still kind of yelling out of the PA, "Pull over right now, pull over right now." And I'm thinking, like, what the heck is going on? Like, am my car being mistaken for somebody else's, or like, what the heck? Because I know I haven't done anything. So I pull over. I end up in a truck tire. Ended up tearing up the bottom of my car. I ended up having to replace some stuff there. But anyway, I pull over, and, you know, the guy doesn't, like, come up to the car like a typical traffic stop. You know what I mean? He's, like, still yelling through the PA, "Put your hands out where we can see him." And we're like, what the heck is going on? Like, we're just driving down 75. And so, you know, we're just like, we're sitting in the car. Like I said, we're not thinking anything of it. We're just kind of like, what the heck is going on? So we put our hands out of the car. We're sitting there for what feels like forever, because it's a very uncomfortable position to hold your hands out of a car window. And then, you know, he keeps yelling. And at this point, I become a little hyper attentive. What's the word I'm looking for here? At this point, I'm on edge, essentially. Like, I'm like, you know, what the heck is going on? Like, I really want to know. Like, I'm hyper alert. That's the word I'm looking for, hyper alert. And so the guy comes into the car, and at this point, I'm watching every single thing, because anybody who knows me knows I'm a very observant person as it is. But at this point, I'm super observant. I'm watching every single move that is being made. Cop comes and gets me out of the car, has his left hand here, and gets me out of the car. And like I said, I don't know if it was a gun, taser, whatever, but he had his hand back there, pulls me out of the car, tells me to put my hands on the back of my car, and handcuffs me, and then puts me on the side of the road by the rail. My friend, he pulls him out the same, well, another cop pulls him out the same way. Handcuffs him, put him on the side by the rail. We're sitting there like, first of all, you know, I've had a couple of traffic tickets, but never have I been handcuffed before. Like, I've never done anything to merit being handcuffed. I've never really broken the law like that. You know what I mean? Like, the most I've done, I've like broken the noise ordinance when I had systems in my car, and I've gotten a couple speeding tickets. But you know, it was never anything major. So I've never been in handcuffs. I'm not a thug. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? So, you know, I'm panicking. Like, at this point, I'm like, you know, tense. I don't know what's going on. So the cops come over and he's like yelling at us. He's like, he's basically just saying like, why didn't you pull over when I had my lights on? I'm like, sir, I didn't see your lights on, but when I saw your lights on, I immediately got over. Like I said, when I saw the lights come on, I moved over to the right lane, and then as soon as I could, I got over into the off the road. So he's like, you know, still going on and on about how when a cop turns his lights on, and you should always pull over immediately, or signal that you're gonna pull over or something like that. And I'm like, well, I moved over, so I figured that was enough signal that I was gonna get over. And basically he keeps going on. His thing is that you look like you were gonna run. So I'm like, okay, I guess. And then next thing I know, they start asking me about like drugs or something to that effect, like having anything illegal in the car. And I'm like, no sir, I don't have anything illegal in the car. And then K9 unit pulls up. So the K9 unit goes around my car, sniffs the entire car. Apparently, according to the officer, the K9 smelled drugs in 2 parts of my car. So they were like, we smelled drugs in 2 parts of your car, we're gonna have to search it. I'm looking at him like, what? I don't have any drugs in the car. So they go and, you know, they search the car, tore everything out of the seats. I had pictures of it. I may still have them. If I have them, I'll post them. But if not, like I said, they tore everything out of the car. Stuff is all over the back seats. I mean, everything you could think of is just out of the car. Went through the car with a fine-tooth comb. Of course, they don't find anything. I don't have any drugs. I don't do drugs. So, you know, they're going through the thing and just like tearing the thing apart. They come back, and of course they didn't find anything, so the officer didn't ask me, what do you do? I say, well, sir, I'm a nurse. The reason I'm in Atlanta is because I was taking a drug test for a job, ironically. And so he's like, oh, well, so you don't have anything in the car? I'm like, no, I don't have anything in the car. And then another officer comes up, he's like, oh, I think he said his sister-in-law or something was a nurse, and he's like, yeah, he's talking to me about hospitals, general conversation. Now, it is when I'm kind of sort of relaxing, but at the same time, I'm wondering what the heck is going on. So they do all that. They search the car, all this stuff. They fuss at us for I don't know how long about how it looked like we were gonna run. We looked like we were gonna run. You look like you were gonna run. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, if I was going to run, you would know. Like, if I was running, you would have no question in your mind if I was running, trust me. But, you know, it's just like, I don't know. I didn't understand that. But like I said, I'm gonna try to keep this subjective. So what happened after that? Let's see. K9 unit smelled the car. Searched the car, didn't find anything. He talked to us about all that stuff, saying that we were failure to yield to an officer is what he cited me with. And so after this is all done, like, this, keep in mind, this process took, I don't know, man, 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, it's hard to say, because like I said, my mind is just all over the place at this point. And so the process is taking forever. And then finally, you know, he gets to the point where he writes me a ticket. He says, failure to yield to an officer. And I'm like, what? But, you know, I'm not going to argue with him. Like, at this point, I just want to go home, reevaluate my life, and revisit the situation later. So I get in the car. Well, no, I take it back. I haven't gotten in the car yet. I'm still talking to the officer. He writes me the citation, and he's like, I'm gonna let you off easily because y'all cooperated when we pulled you over. I'm like, why'd you put me over in the first place? So I asked him, I'm like, what was the reason that you initially went to pull me over? Because you're charging me with failure to yield when you went to pull me over. What was the initial reason for you pulling me over? And he said that my tag was too dark. Now keep in mind, I had like a tag cover, but it was clear. Like, it wasn't like one of those ones that obstructed the thing. It was essentially just, I thought it looked cool on the car and it kept the tag clean. But yeah, he said my tag was too dark, and basically that he couldn't see the tag from where he was sitting at an odd angle at 1 in the morning. He couldn't see my tag. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess. So, I don't know. I didn't ask no more questions. I didn't want to be in that situation no more. Me and my boy got back in the car, drove on back. I made a phone call to my parents, let them know what was going on, while I was, you know, taking so long to get back to town. And the next day I made a phone call to my lawyer about what had happened. Basically, what ended up happening is I was supposed to go to court for it. And I told them that I was going to plead not guilty because, you know, I had spoken with my lawyer and this was the route that I was going to take. And so court case day is coming up, and all of a sudden they postpone it. So the case is postponed for, I can't remember how long. It was a good little minute though. So I'm like stressed out even more. I'm like, God, I just want to get this over with. So, yeah, they do that. They do all that. And then we finally, the court date is finally coming up, and I get a call. And they basically like, are you still planning on going forward with the pleading not guilty case? And I'm like, yes. She asked me why. I explained why. Whoever I spoke with seemed very upset that I was going to plead not guilty. She was, I mean, to me it seemed like she was upset. She was very adamant about, oh, well, this, that, and the other, this is how you're supposed to do it, and you shouldn't plead not. I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, this is what I'm planning to do. If y'all prove me guilty, so be it, but this is the route that I've chosen to take. So we get off the phone. Seemed like a very tense conversation. It wasn't too long before I got a call back from that same number. Keep in mind, I'm at work at this point. I get a call back from that same number, and basically, I don't get any explanation as to why, but the case has been dropped. The case was dropped. Never heard anything else about it. Either way, I'm not gonna say the county name, not gonna shout any names out, but that particular county, I have to come through it when I go home, but I don't buy anything from that county. Like, I don't support any stores, any gas stations. I don't want nothing to do with that county. I try to just get through there as inconspicuously as possible, because I don't like feeling like my life is in danger, or feeling like even my reputation is in danger, because I work as a nurse and I do other things. I have other ties to other businesses. That means my reputation has to stay intact. So I don't want to be that guy who got arrested, you know what I mean? Because nobody ever asks the full story. People always just see you got arrested and then make assumptions. So I don't want to be in a situation where I have to deal with anything like that. So my advice to you as YouTube followers, as people in general, is to always be careful of your surroundings and be careful of the situation that you put yourself in. Because we didn't do anything wrong that I know of. We just were driving back. We weren't speeding. We weren't having any loud music. We weren't doing anything reckless. Had cruise control set. We were doing the speed limit. And I mean, I ended up handcuffed for the first time in my life ever. Like, it's scary. It's a scary thought, honestly. So you guys just be careful out there. We all enjoy the car scene, don't get me wrong, but be very careful. Like, first of all, you shouldn't be driving recklessly anyway. That's not safe for people. But I mean, even if you're not driving recklessly, even if you're just enjoying your car, enjoying your day, just be careful. Because there are some people out there that may not be fair, that may not care about you the way that, you know, people who love you do. So just be careful, be mindful of your surroundings, and most importantly, have fun and enjoy your life. This has been Cal from Nowhere Drive 229. Just wanted to share that message with y'all. Quick little vlog. I think I'm gonna go get some sleep though, because I think I might pick up a shift tonight. I think I might work tonight. So yeah, just wanted to share that with y'all, and y'all be good. Live good.